Good morning, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. So the other day we were talking about how to create a data set with SQL Server tables, queries, views, stored procedures, and user-defined functions. I don't know whether you have learned views, stored procedures, and UDFs. UDF means user-defined functions. These you can find them in your T-SQL. T means Transact SQL. You need to watch these videos so that you will understand what is the purpose of a view. You will understand what is the purpose of a stored procedure. You will understand what is the purpose of UDFs. In the real time, you will be able to write lot of queries and you will be able to write a lot of stored procedures. These are very, very important concept that you have to know. When you join the company, they don't give you Excel, right? So much more time, they will be able to give you a data warehouse databases or any databases that will be given in the real time. Okay. So you have to know how to write queries. You have to know how to write stored procedures, and you have to know how to use them in your Power BI. So that is what is the main motto to, to understand how to write the queries and how to write the store procedures. And today I will show you how do you use this. So we have taken customer table and we have written the query. It is going to be giving you whatever the data that you needed, right? This is a query. The next query, product table. I have joined product table with the category and subcategory. And after joining, I will be able to get this data. So when you execute this, you will be able to get product key, product name, color of the product category name, product subcategory name. So all the transformations and everything I have done. So transformation, like I have given the new column name and everything here. So sometimes you will be able to use your queries to remove a lot of columns. Otherwise, you have to load all the data into the Power BI. And after that, you should be able to remove the columns. So instead of doing that, whatever the cleaning work that you have to do it with the help of the queries, you should be able to do the cleaning work. For example, I need first name, middle name, last name. I wanted to do it. So I would like to take and I would like to merge. If you wanted to merge, you should be able to also create a full name. So how do you create a full name? You can just put plus symbol and put middle name here and plus put the one more plus symbol and you can say as full name, right? So we will be able to perform this operation like this. But when you execute, what will happen? You will be able to get, a null value here. Why? Because any value plus null equals to null. If you have any null value, either in the first name or in the middle name or in the last name, if you find any null value, any value plus null value will become null. So you have to use, so there is a function called is null, right? If there is a null, what you have to do, you have to write like this so that you will not be able to get this kind of a thing. So is null. If you have a null instead of a, this one. So I wanted to use like this. If you write like that, and what will happen? Let us see. You don't get this kind of an issues. Now you're able to get John V. Young, you can hang. So everything you will be able to get it. But in between, I wanted to have one space. So there is a one SQL will give you one more function called space one. It will give you single space. Okay. It will give you what? A single space. So when you write like this. So let me execute this. And all these things I have achieved here. Instead of writing this big, complex code. So let me just put it off. So instead of writing this big code, so you should be able to achieve the same thing in the Power BI as well. So if you're good in SQL Server, functions and everything, you should be able to give all these things. But if you think that it is very complicated, you can also transform and create a full name in Power BI as well. So it depends upon, data set that is with you, because you are not going to be creating a data set. Someone will create the data set. So if they give you full name like this, then you can use it. Or if they give you instead of this one, let me comment this. Instead of that, they may give you only first name and the middle name, means you should be able to just, use this. So I have first name, then let me take middle name, right? And I wanted to take the last name. So whatever you wanted to do it, so you can do it in cleaning work. Everything can be done in the Power BI level. So Power BI where everything drag and drop. But when you write the SQL, you need to write a lot of coding, right? So definitely we don't like coding, right? So some work we are going to be doing it in the SQL level. Some work you should be able to do also in the Power BI level. So whatever you wanted to have it, you should be able to do it. So let me also delete this, right? So all these things we have to know. So we have a customer table is ready, product table is ready, then we have a sales table is also ready. And after that, I was talking about the sales is happened to which territory or which location. So I have taken one more table. The table is called geography table or the location table. So you will be able to come to know and in which location the sales is happened. Clear? So we can take a territory key and this one, and you can join with the geography key. So always you need not have the same column name as part of the primary key and foreign key table, right? So sometimes it will be like this. For example, I have a department table, right? So department ID will be there and the department name will be there. ID 10 sales department, 20 accounts department. So there is a employee table, employee ID, employee name, then department ID should be there. Instead of that, they said department number, right? So it is the primary key column is department ID, but here the column is department number, right? So one John is working for department number 10 or 20, right? So Sita is working for department number 20. So let us say 3, Aman is working for department number 10. So this is the primary key. This is the foreign key. If you know primary key and foreign key, the column name need not be the same. If the column name is not same, then how do you verify what is the common column? Normally we see the data. So wherever this data is matching, we can understand this, okay, this column and this column is matching. So primary key column name and foreign key column name, so need not be the same. Remember this. So you can have department number or you can have D number. Here we have a department ID. Here it is a D number. D number means department number. The column name need not be the same, but still it can refer because reference is going to be happening. The commonality that you're going to be checking inside the data, but not inside your column names. Remember. So primary key column name and foreign key column name need not be the same one or the similar ones. Clear? You can have any name here. You can have column called some X also. End of the day, you can also take this and you can also link, because end of the day, this data is going to be matching with this data. Yeah, am I clear? So the column names are not very important. So here it is geography key. Here it is geography key, but the same geography key is used as a sales territory key. If you are not clear, so which to join, because you know SQL Server, but this data is not yours, right? So you need to check with the customer. So, or you need to ask your team lead. So which one to map, because the columns are not very clear. So which one to map? So sometimes technically we may be sound, but end of the day, business data is not your data. So you cannot simply assume that, this might be like that, that might be like that. You need to ask. So, sir, can I join this table with this table? So I can see the data is matching, but can I use this? If not, the customer will tell you, no, 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 Bhaskar. I think you need to use one more column. So that is a business data. Business people will come to know. So as a technical guy, even though you have 100 years of experience, you will not be able to justify whether this column to join, because the same column is not there. So you can see the data, sales territory key data, and this data will be the same. So that is the reason you are saying I can map these columns. If this is true, then it is fine. If not, the customer will tell you, so this column and the other column has to be mapped. Clear? So all these things, even though you have technically SQL level, technically you're very good, knowledge, but this data, business data, you need to check with the customer also, sir. I'm, working with this, whether it is good or bad, or you need to cross check with your team lead or your superiors in the company. So all these things has to be communicated. Clear? So if you understand carefully, someone's video is on. Who's that? Just check your video. Now, if you execute this carefully, I don't have the date order, order a date. So we have a order a date key. We have a ship date key. We have this because we don't have, dates as it is. So this table, these columns are going to be mapping with one more date and time table. Why we have to create a date and time table and everything, you will be able to understand in the data warehousing concept. You don't have the order date here. Order date key is there. Why key has to be there? Why we need to include, one more table called, date and time table. So all these things you will be able to understand later. So compulsorily you need to use a dim date table. Clear? So data warehousing is a large database. That's what I told you. What is data warehousing? Which is a large database. So database means you will have a tables. Database means you will have a tables, right? So because as I told you, SQL is going to be storing the data. SQL means need not be SQL server. Any Oracle, RDBMS going to be storing the data, but data warehouse is a large database. It will be there in the terabytes. Clear? So what is your data warehouse size means? You can say 10 terabytes of data, 20 terabytes of data. Clear? What kind of a data you have it here? So it is a AdventureWorks company is completely selling cycles and motor bikes. So all the motor bikes data, cycles data, the sales data is available here. So what is the size of the data? 10 terabytes of data. And so data warehouse will have a tables. What type of tables you have? So data warehouse will be having two types of tables. One is called dimension table, dim table. The second variety of table is called as a fact table. Clear? So data warehouse will have two types of tables. One is called a dimension table. One is called a fact table. So when you learn a data warehousing concept, so data warehousing videos will be given for free. 7 to 10 videos are there. So you have to watch them after completing your SSIS. Clear? SSIS batch is going on now. So if you join that batch, it is fine. Or you can buy the videos of SSIS. You have to compulsorily do this course. Then you need to watch data warehousing videos. It will be free, right? It will be free. You have to watch. In that, I spoken about what is a data warehouse, what is a dimension table, what is a fact table, and a difference between dimension table and a fact table, and what is a schema, and what is a dimension, what is a fact, right? All of them I have spoken. You will get a minimum 5 to 10 interview questions from the data warehousing concept. Clear? So as of now, what is a data warehouse means? Which is a large database, where you are going to be having the historical data of the company. It is a history. So you don't store the live data. You don't store the live data in the data warehouse. So once in a month, once in a quarter, from the OLTP, all the data will be stored in the data warehousing. So to get the data from one place to another place, we use in between ETL. So we are going to be using SSIS, and we get all the data from here, and we are going to be storing all the data into the data warehousing. So if you learn SSIS, you will be able to understand clearly how data warehousing is going to be created. And after that, how you're going to be loading the data and how you're going to be performing ETL operations and everything. If you learn a Power Query, so Power Query is not a, it is not going to have in-depth of ETL. Even ADF, when you learn ADF, even there, you will not be able to learn in-depth of ETL concepts. Am I clear? So ADF and Power Query, where you will not be able to understand a lot of ETL. ETL, if you wanted to understand compulsorily, you need to watch these videos. 25 classes, 25 days videos are available. Or if you attend the live classes, you will be able to understand. Clear? So what is a data warehouse means? So data warehouse is going to be a large database. So it could be SQL Server database, Oracle database, or it could be Teradata database. So end of the day, all of them are same, right? All of them are similar and same. You're going to be using stored procedures, tables, triggers. All these concepts are going to be there in the data warehousing also. Why? Because data warehouse is a database. Large data warehouse. Large means what is the size? What is the size of your data warehouse? So you can say 5 terabytes, 10 terabytes, 20 terabytes, like that. You should be able to say. Clear? So data warehouse will have a dimension tables and the fact tables. So I'm talking about all these. This is a dimension table, right? Dim means dimension table. So this is a fact internet sales table, fact table. So this is a fact table, right? You will have one fact table, and this is a dimensional table. So dimension means where you have a more of a textual data. More of textual data, more of primary keys will be there. You will understand all these things later. I don't want to, discuss now. So this is also dimension table. Dimension data means more of textual data. Fact data means more of numerical data. All this data amount, freight amount, tax amount, all these things are called more of numerical data. Fact data means number data, numerical data. So this is a dimension. So you will have more and more dimension tables. One or two fact tables will be there. So all the data analysis is not going to done on the dimension table. All the analytics or aggregations, right? Sums and everything will be always done on the fact table. What is the total unit price, or what is the total discount, or what is the total sales amount, or what is the tax amount, or what is the freight amount, or what is the tax amount in India, or what is the freight amount in Australia, or what is the total sales for the product XYZ, or what is the category of this product sales in India. So end of the day, you do all sum, min, max, all these operations are going to be happening in the fact, but dimension tables data will be there in the where clause to filter the data. What is the sales in India? So select sum of sales amount. Select sum of sales amount from blah 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 tables where location is equal to India. So that is how you're going to be writing the query. Someone's video is on. Who's that? Guys, check. Someone's video is on. Yeah. So this is how you're going to be doing. Now, I don't have the order dates. So when you execute this, these are numbers we have. It is not the date and time format. So I'm going to be using one more table called dim data table. So let me get this data table. So it is also a dimensional table. Let me read select star from the this table name. So when you execute this, you will be able to get the date and time tables. Now this date key, you're going to be mapping with this date key, order date key, blah, 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 right? So now we are going to be taking this order date key is going to be mapped with this date key. Clear? So when you execute this, the order date key will be mapped with the date key. So we are going to be using this table. So in this, you have full alternate key and a day number, English number, Spanish day number, French day number. Lot of things are available. Week number, and you have English month name. So you have French month name. So month number of year, calendar quarter, calendar year, lot of data you have. Fiscal quarter, fiscal means financial quarter, financial year, fiscal means financial semester. So a lot of things are available. So I don't need all the columns. Let me start writing the column names. I need the year number, column number. I will take the primary key now later. So you will be able to get. So I need the full date. Okay, full date I would like to take it. Now I wanted to have year number. Where is the year number? English month name, day number. So somewhere you will be able to find out the fiscal year, calendar year. So calendar year, I will be able to get like this. So it will be simply as year. So I don't want to otherwise I'll say year number. Okay, like that calendar year. And I wanted to have calendar semester. Simply, I will be writing some number, right? So semester number, calendar quarter, right? So simply you can write quarter number. So when you execute, you will be able to get a beautiful this one. But quarter number will not be like this. You will be able to put what? QTR, blah, blah, blah. So you can mention that QTR. So if you wanted to get QTR to be prefixed, so QTR has to be prefixed. So you need to write the code, but it is going to be giving you a lot of errors. Why? It is a character data. It is an integer data. So this has to be casted. A lot of coding you have to know. Cast as varchar. So all these things you have to know in depth of functions and everything, so that you will be able to perform these operations. So you will be able to get, quarter number 1, quarter number 3. So whatever you wanted to get, quarter number 2, you're going to be prefixing. So you have to learn a lot of coding and everything, right? So if you don't want to do it here, you can also remove this. And you should be able to do it later. So that is also we will see. And quarter number as it is, I'm not changing. I'm simply using like this. So you execute, you will be able to see like this. Later we will change, because a lot of coding. So you have to do it here. If you know the coding, that is fine. Otherwise, you have to do it in the Power BI level. Quarter number, then the after quarter, we are going to be getting the month number, right? English. Where is the month number? Calendar month. Month number of year we have. So it is a month number simply. Okay. So month number. So after that, week number of year. After the month, we will say simply week number. And if you need the month name, so there is a English day name, day. So after the week, let us see day number of the week. Right? So you say day number. So we need the day name and the month name also, right? Day name and the month name also, I wanted to have it. So why we have to take this separately, you will understand later. So day name, if you wanted to get, so English day name is there. Simply, you will be able to write day name. So, or day NM. NM means name. So, I will be able to get the day name here. So, day name is Monday, Friday, something like that. And the month name also, if you wanted to have English month name somewhere, so where is that English month name you have? English month name is there. Simply, you can say month name, right? So all these things you should be able to have. So month NM, like that, you will be able to create your own table. So, and this date key and order date key can be mapped. So this is how you have to get them. So date ki full day and year number, semester number, quarter number, month number, week number, day number, day name and month name. So you will be able to find out May, June, July, blah, 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 whatever you would like to have it, you should be able to get it. If you need only 3 letters as a month name, so how to do that? We have the complete month name. I don't need the complete month name. I need the 3 letters. So what I can do, I can say left function, I can use the first 3 letters only. I want to get it as a month name. I don't want to get bigger spellings. So all these things, you can do it in the SQL Server level, or we can also change in your Power BI. So you will be able to get only 3 letters. So August, September, October, November. So all these things you should be able to do in the query level. So all the transformations also you can do it here. So whether you wanted to do it here or you wanted to do it there, everything has to be clearly mentioned in the requirement document. If it is not there, at least whoever is creating the data set, they need to check with the team lead, team member, they need to write all of them, because a lot of things you might not be having in the detailed requirement document if it is not there, and you need to mention clearly whether I need to have the full month name, or I need to have the short month name, or I need to have both. So whatever you would like to have, everything you will be able to ask and get the data. If not, you will be able to also transform the data, and you will be able to do a lot of changes in the Power BI. If not in the Power BI, you have to go to the data sets and do it. So all the tables are available now. So if you wanted to get the tables, so where I need to go? I have to go to Power BI. Now all these tables, I wanted to get it, or I would like to use it. So in my Power BI, now you should know how to use SQL Server tables and everything, right? So what you can do, so as we know, we can go to transform data. Now you can get new source. So instead of Excel workbook, I'm going to be using what? SQL Server. So SQL Server name, my computer name is called Gather, or I can also say dot, right? So my computer name I can use. If you don't know what is your computer name, so simply you can go to the SQL Server. So right click on this, go up, right click on this, go to properties. Now your computer name, it will be given. So like this, copy this, you will be able to get the computer name, or you will be able to understand your name like this. Select at the rate server name, right? So this is a command. Many people will call me, sir, it is working, it is not working for me, because they will write like this, or they will write like this, right? And they will execute, sir, it is not working, sir. And that is how they're going to be calling me and asking me. So this is how they're going to be executing and asking me. So you need to concentrate how I am writing and how you are writing it, right? Or some people will delete, one extra, and it is not going to work. Then you will say, sir, as it is, I am writing. So as it is, when you write, SQL Server will not lie, right? So you're doing some mistake. It will give you what is the name of your computer. Copy this, you will be able to identify. But in the real time, you have to check with your boss, because you should not put a dot there. When you join the company, the server names will be given by the customer, clear? So you should not put a dot. You have to ask the server name and the database name is optional. But what is my database name? You can just go there, and my database name is this. Then how to get the database name? So when you drag and drop, the database name will be taken. Simply copy this, right? Simply copy this portion. So the database name, you should not type. You should not type. If you type it, you do the mistakes. Always drag and drop, copy this, and go to the Power BI. And it is not mandatory to give database name, but let us give. So you understand two parameters, very, very important parameters we need to understand. One is called import query. One is called direct query, right? Very, very important interview question. Now let us understand. When you have a data warehouse means database, right? So I'm taking Adventure Works data warehouse. If it is having 10 terabytes of data, let us assume. So when you take the data to the Power BI. So now tell me, Power BI cannot take 10 terabytes of data. After compression, also it will become, at least big amount of data, but maximum data you can store after compression 10 GB of data in the RAM. Clear? So Power BI capacity only 10 GB of data, right? So 10 terabytes of data is too much of data. If you have 100 GB of data, 100 GB of data, after compression, it will become 10 GB of data. But now I'm talking about 10 terabytes of data. Can I store all the data in the Power BI RAM? The answer is no. So you cannot take terabytes of data into the Power BI. So many people ask this question to me in the first class, sir, if you have so much of data, what should I do? So when you have this much of a data or lesser than this data, we can go for import data connectivity mode. So what will happen when you import? So in the Power BI, it is the RAM, all this data. So when should I use import? When you have this much of a data in the source, after compression, it will become 10 GB, 9 GB. If that is the case, you have to choose all the data will be taken from here and a copy of data will be stored in the RAM. Clear? So when you have the data, then after that you create a report and you will be able to see lot of reports and dashboards. You can have them. Clear? So when you have this much of a data, but now I'm talking about 10 terabytes of data. Can I use import connectivity mode? You cannot, because when you say import, all the 10 terabytes of data is going to be cached. Cached means it is going to be stored in the RAM, but RAM capacity is 10 GB, 20 GB or 30 GB, but I cannot have this much of a data in my RAM, so you cannot store this much of a data. If that is the case, you have to use direct query. What is the meaning? Don't load any data into the RAM. That is the meaning, right? So what will happen if you use this direct query mode? Only the table schema. So you understand like this. It is all these are very, very important. When you have 10 terabytes of data or 100 terabytes of data, so Power BI cannot store the data. Power BI always will store the data into the RAM of your computer, right? So I cannot load this data. When you use direct query methodology, so RAM is going to be only storing the table names and column names, but no data is going to come here, right? So now tell me, you have 10 tables and you have a lot of columns. Only the tables is going to come, but not data. So what is the meaning? If the data is not there, whether it is a 10 terabyte of data, 20 terabyte of data, it will be here only. RAM is going to be having only the table schema. Schema means what? Table names and column names will be there. No data is going to come when you use the direct query. Clear? But when you use the import, Power BI going to store all the data into the RAM. So what will happen? All the data will come plus all the table name, column name, everything is going to come. I'm going to be having the data. So you can store the data. So assume that you have 100 GB of data. After compression, it will become 10 GB. If you have 10 GB or lower than that, so you should be able to use import. Importing is also called as a cached. Where is going to be cached? All the data will be stored in the memory. So this is what is very, very faster. Which one is very, very faster? I'm going to be storing all the data into the RAM. I'm going to be caching. So this is what is very, very faster. But when you have a large amount of data, you have to use direct query. So in that place, RAM is not going to store any data. RAM is going to be storing the schema. Schema means what? A table name, column names. Data is not going to be coming here. So you create a report. So to get the data, since I don't have data here, if you create one report here, in the report, supposed to get the data from the Power BI will go and it is going to be seeing there is no data. Power BI again will go get all the data and displaying the data from the here itself. So it will be slow when you compare with what Nana importing methodology or direct query methodology. Are you clear? So when you have a large amount of data, you should not use this. You have to go in for this. Let me check what is the size of my database. So how to check? Right click on this. So go to properties. Now I will be able to know what is the size. Size is 92.94 MB. Not even 1 GB of data, right? 1 GB means 1000 MB of data. Okay, so I don't have not even 1000 MB of data. It is small size. So it is a training. This training database given by Microsoft. It is not my database. Now my database is this database, this database. These are my databases, right? iBank, UcoPlay, all of them are mine. But this is given by Microsoft for the learning purpose. Now I wanted to check what is the size. Size is very, very less or little. So what I can do? I can use the import. Now, how should I get the data directly? If I don't want to use queries and everything, choose this, click on OK. So you are now connecting to SQL Server. Now you are connecting to AdventureWorks. What is that you need? You need a dim data table, dim customer table, dim geography table, and a dim product table, dim product category. All the tables you can choose like this, right? So you can choose like this, and the fact internet sales, you will be able to go and get all the tables. So getting the tables is very, very easy. All the tables will be loaded like this. So where is the data getting loaded now? So all the data is here. You did not write the queries. You have taken the tables as it is. So it is now loading. But this is not the way people will give you, not the tables, they will give you queries. They will give you stored procedures, right? So that is where you have to know. Selecting a table is very, very easy. But if somebody says you have to use this query, you have to use this query, you have to use this query means you cannot, select the tables like that. So that is not the way. So let me go. Let me show you how the tables can be loaded. This is how the tables can be loaded. Now we can change this table names. It is not a fact internet sales. Simply this is a sales table. Like that, we can rename the tables and everything. Sales table. So this will be a remove this dim. So all of them you can simply a product table. So remove the dim and everything because nobody will understand what is a dim, right? So technically you will be able to understand, give the friendly names. So don't give the technical names to the end user. So end of the day, these things will be for the end user. They don't understand what is a dim, what is a fact. That is a technical things, right? All these things you need to remove and close and apply. Now what will happen? All the data will be loaded into the RAM of your computer and automatically data modeling and everything will be done. So this is not the way we need. We have to write the queries and get the data. We have to write the queries and get the data. Now all the data is going to be loaded where? In the RAM of my computer. RAM means you can understand. So RAM means it is a limited data, 10 GB of data I should be able to load. So you can see the data from the Power BI itself, right? So, so try to understand. It is loading all the data, compressing the data, loading the data. It will take a lot of time, minimum 3 to 5 minutes of time it is going to be taking. It is going to be loading, but you need to have enough RAM, right? So what is the maximum RAM? If you want to store 10 GB of data, the maximum RAM you should have at least more than 10 GB because Power BI takes 10 GB means other application also have to run in the laptop, right? So at least 12 GB, 15 GB if you have it. So definitely you can store the 10 GB of data. But now I don't need so much of a space because I'm having only 10 in 100 MB of data. All the data is got loaded. So someone's video is on. Who's that? Just checking on. So a lot of things you can add. So can we add means why not? You can add lot of things. You can go to Power BI. You can add lot of columns. You can modify. So everything can be done. Importing tables. There were some more files. Can you please, what is it? So while importing tables, there are some more files. Can you please, what is that? Some more files means which files you're talking about? Sravya, I'm not clear. FX list. Where is that files you see? You see? I don't know which files you're talking about. FX files means you don't need. Those are not files. Those are functions, I think. Yeah. Okay. So this is how you should be able to see the data. And to see the data, we will be able to go and you see the data here. So this is what is you're able to see the data. You're able to see the data. When you're able to see the data, that means this data got loaded in the RAM. But if I go back, and I discard this, Now, instead of that, let me open Power BI. And this time, I'm going to be using, instead of import, I'm going to be using direct query. Okay. So go to transform data, click on the transform tab. Now, I know that I'm getting large amount of data. I have to click on SQL Server. SQL Server name is called Kadar or dot database name. So I can go to SQL Server. So you should be able to have the database name. So Control C, copy, and you're going to be mapping it there, right? You're going to be giving it there. Now, instead of import, I'm going to be using direct query. What is the meaning? Data is not going to go to SQL to Power BI. Data is not going to go to Power BI. So you cannot load the data. Data will be there in the data warehousing only. So if I take, so if you say FX means functions, these are the functions. So V means views. These are the tables. Okay, let us talk about first tables. I will take dim date table. So dim product table, like that, whatever the tables that you needed, right? So fact, sales table. Let me take only few tables. So the data is not going to be loaded into the RAM of my computer. Now this is a sample data. You can see it here, but this data is not going to be loaded. When you click on close and apply, the data is not going to come to your RAM. Clear? Now you see the difference. Now this middle button will disappear because you cannot see the data. You observe clearly. This middle button will get disappeared. So you cannot see the data, only the table names, column names you can see. That is what is called table schema, right? So it is going to be, there are pending changes in your queries. Okay, that is automatically doing. Okay, so it is not loading the data. It is loading only the primary key, foreign key relationships. And it is not going to be loading the physical data, right? So let us understand what it is doing. And you see this middle button will disappear. You see, it is gone. So you will see a column names here. You will see table names here. You can see the data modeling, primary key, foreign key relationship, but you cannot see the data. Data is you cannot see because you don't have the data. So when you drag and drop a aggregation like this, and I wanted to drag and drop a sales amount. Now, when you drag and drop a tax amount or the sales amount, what happens? Power BI is going to go to where? To the data warehouse, and it is going to be getting the data, and afterwards it is going to be aggregating the data. Now it is taking a lot of time, So I don't have the data. If I don't have the data, where should I go? I have to go to the source. For example, if I have an ATM card, debit card, I don't have anything. So what I do? I take the debit card, go to the ATM machine, withdraw the cash, then I need to give the cash. I don't have, because I have ATM machine like that. I don't have any, data with me. If I wanted to get the data, I have to go to the source. Where is the source to get the money? ATM or the bank. You have to go to the bank with your checkbook, or you have to go to the ATM machine to withdraw the cash like that. I don't have data in the Power BI. So Power BI every time is going to go to where? To the data warehouse. Where is the data warehouse located? It is there in the SQL Server database, or it is there in the Oracle database. So SQL Server database has to be on by 24/7, because if you shut down the computer, shut down the SQL Server machine, it is not going to work. So you have to make it on. Power BI machine 24/7 has to be on, and you need to have the SQL Server machine wherever you have data available. That machine also to be on 365 days, 24/7. So that machine has to be on every time. It is going to be going and getting the data. Clear? So that is what you got to understand, guys. So Manjunath is asking, sir, can we change the relationship in Power BI? Why not? You can just go. If you don't like this, you can remove this. So there is a delete option. You can delete this. You can create your own relationship, whatever it is, right? So can we means everything, because I don't like this, I can delete. I can create my own relationship, right? So anything you can do it. There's no problem, but you cannot see the data. Am I clear? So now, if you wanted to write a query, so now you should not get the tables. So I have to use this query. How to use the query? Now I'll show you. Go to Power BI. Go to Power BI. You should be able to write a query. So go to transform data. You can go to transform data. You should be able to go to new source. Now click on the SQL Server. Gather, that is the computer name, database name. Let me copy and paste. So what is my database name? So this is the Control C and Control V. I'm going to be using import. Below there is advanced options. Click on this. So this is where you are going to be writing your query. So this query is going to be giving you customer data. This query you have to copy and paste. Copy. Now you have to go and paste. How did I get it? So you need to click on this, go and paste this. Click on OK. Right? So how to use the queries? This is the data. I'm using import method. All the data will be loaded into the RAM of my computer. So I got a query one. So this is not a query. This is a customer table. Like that we can rename. So I got this table. So the first query I got it. Again, you have to go back to the SQL Server again. Instead of multiple times giving server name, database name, the better you will be able to go to this, right? So this is a existing, the connection. Okay, it is already the same thing. Otherwise, it is capturing the data also. I don't want, now I'm able to get this. So if I'm going here, it is giving this one also. So, or you can simply go and click on this. Now server name, Kedar, and database name. What is the database name? Control C, copy this and choose and importing. Click on this. The next query I have to copy and paste. This is over. The second query I'm going to be using this query. So this query will give me the product. So let me copy this. Now I wanted to go to Power BI and I wanted to use this. Clear? So tomorrow we'll continue. We will be able to use stored procedures tomorrow. We will be able to use functions, views, everything I'll be able to show you tomorrow. Today, I am just showing how to use the table query. It is not a query one. It is the product. Clear? So like that, you should be able to press enter. Now customer table is ready. product table is ready. If you wanted to see the query, click on this, go to source. Now you will be able to find out your query. Clear? You can simply click on this button. Click on this button. You will be able to find out your query. Tomorrow, if you wanted to remove some, column, if you wanted to add column, you can add, click on OK. So this is how we are going to be using SQL Server queries or tables. Tomorrow, we'll go to be talking about stored procedures, views, lot of things. Okay. Chalo, guys. Any other questions? So tables and queries, Now tomorrow we'll talk about remaining three. Are you able to understand how we can use the data set? Now everything we'll discuss in the tomorrow's class. Tomorrow will be the final one for the creating a data set using SQL Server.